Hi, everyone. Welcome to the How We Hustle podcast.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Tanya. And we invite you to join us in our unfiltered conversation about the real life hustle of being an entrepreneur. For more information about the podcast, check out howwehustlepodcast.com.
Make sure to check us out on Instagram at How We Hustle Podcast. You'll find information on new episodes as well as notable quotes from the episodes we do. So come check us out at How We Hustle Podcast on Instagram.
All right, so today we are switching things up a little bit. Unlike our usual episodes where Tanya and I hop on here and dissect a topic, we are bringing on a guest today. Tanya is not here, so I am sitting here with Devin Gosselin, who is a great entrepreneur who is in the process about to launch a brand new dating platform that he has been working on for, I think, about a year now, right?
Yep.
And so I've been working with Devin a little bit lately on a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I wanted to bring him on to talk about the cultivation of the entrepreneurial mindset, because one of the things that I have really noticed from Devin and been inspired by Devin is that he really has his mind on right. His entrepreneurial attitude is really where it needs to be to really go forward with every day that he's building his business. He is building a dating site, a dating platform called Rendezvous Dating. It is about to launch in Toronto very soon, and then from there, the rest of the world should watch out because it's coming. One of the things that Devin has always said to me is, his site is going to be the best in the world. And this is something that I have struggled with a little bit in my own cultivation of the entrepreneurial mindset, is really just staying kick ass, like my business. I am the best. I am. You really have to believe in yourself if you want other people to believe in you. So Devin, every time I work with him or I speak to him, he's always reminding me how straight his mindset is. So here we are. We'll bring on Devin. We can start off by, you can just say hi, Devin.
Thanks, Mike. That's a great introduction.
So Devin, before we start talking about your business, I want to know why did you decide to leave your high-paying job? This is something that a lot of entrepreneurs it's sort of like the leap, right? You have this idea, maybe it's your side hustle, but the time comes where you need to take that leap and just go for it. And you did this by leaving your high-paying job and, putting a lot of resources on the line to build out this platform. So why did you take this leap? Is it about, really scratching that itch or chasing your purpose? What really made you decide to go all in on your business idea?
Yeah, I mean, that's just about it. It's going all in, right? With intuition, and I stumbled across a vocation that I knew I could take to a new level. And I don't want to worry about competitors, and I've always known I would dominate the field of whichever field I got into, and this one happened to fit perfectly.
So you're running a dating site. So why are you running a dating site? What made you want to get into the dating space? Was it a personal experience that you had where you saw, maybe an opening in the market, or you thought you could bring value in a way that others haven't, or what made you, choose to go this route?
Yeah, it's extremely personal. I have done a lot of online dating myself, free sites and paid, and the experiences I had left me dumbfounded, and I knew I would be able to fix that. Why do I want to be in this dating space? I don't want anybody to ever feel the way I've felt again, that loneliness and feeling like there may not be someone there for you, or that feeling of saying, there's no right guys or there's no right girls in this city for me, and that's just not the truth. It's not the truth at all, and that comes down to beliefs again, right? If I could bring love, joy, and hope to everybody, that would be the ultimate achievement for me.
So what Devin is trying to do is he is creating a dating platform that is almost the evolution of the space. We call it beyond swiping. So he wants to, bring people together. He's going to bring people together on a higher level that other sites, other platforms aren't really doing right now. So we could get into more about your actual business, but I'm more curious about your entrepreneurial mindset, and I think that people listening can really relate to the idea of an entrepreneurial mindset. So obviously, building out a dating site is not a matter of just like starting a website. It is a very complicated, platform you have to build out. And to build out such a platform, like, it takes resources, right? You are putting a lot on the line, more than I've ever put on the line to start a business. Yet it's almost like the more you put into it, some people might get scared and lose sleep, but it seems like, every time I talk to you, you seem more pumped up. And I've heard you say in many different ways and on many different occasions, like, you're going to be the biggest in the space. You really just, like, failure is not an option for you. And that is something that I get motivation from, because when you have that mindset as an entrepreneur, things will come at you and you're going to have to adapt and you're going to have to face some mistakes. But at the end of the day, as long as you keep that mindset positive, it's pretty hard for things not to eventually go well for you. And that's something that I've noticed that you are kind of on top of, is keeping that mindset positive. So how do you do that? Like, how do you continue to sort of invest money, invest time, invest more resources? Otherwise, you still haven't, launched your company. So you don't have money coming back in. How do you stay, like, pumped up day after day as you're building this company? How do you quash that fear that's in the back of your mind, saying, that's second guessing everything you do? I know when my business, I always second guess myself. What do you do to take control of that?
Well, there's a lot there to take in. I'll try and start from the beginning of saying, with mindset. Mindset truly is everything. And there's a quote I love. It says, "Whether you believe you can or you cannot, you're probably right." Mindset is 80% of the battle. 20% is action and hard work, but 80% is mindset. And what does it take to develop a mindset out of nowhere? Because I did start without having this warrior or entrepreneurial mindset. To get this mindset, you need to believe in yourself, and that's another thing of its own as well. How do you believe in yourself if you didn't believe in yourself the day before, right? So there's a variety of things I do in order to build this up. For instance, I have routines every single day that I do that verify my confidence in myself and my ability to do things, and this builds my beliefs in myself. Therefore, strengthens my mindset, saying when I'm going to do something, it's because I'm going to do it, And Mike mentioned how much money I've spent an immense amount of money investment into this, and I don't lose sleep over it. And he's absolutely right. I don't. I sleep like a baby every single night. I actually, and Mike also mentioned, I seem to get happier as time goes on. I do, and as more time goes, I'm actually spending more money quicker because my team is expanding, things are growing, things are happening faster. And to me, it feels like the more money I'm spending, the closer I'm getting to my goal. I review my goals daily. I feel like what it's going to feel like when my vision has come to life, and I feel that inside. And that is energizing. That is motivating, and it's just so easy to keep pushing forward when you see it like that.
Yeah, you have a lot of discipline too. Something I noticed about Devin is he takes it's almost like he finds a strength in his discipline. I know that you work out every day at 7 a.m. and you also showed me your planning regimen, which is you create a to-do list. Maybe that's not the right way to say it, but a to-do list.
Yeah.
And why don't you talk about that for a second? Because when you showed me what you're doing, I was like, wow, like I need to do that. But it's one thing to say I need to do that, but to actually do it, there's a little bit of a bridge between saying you need to do something and actually doing it, but you're actually doing it. And I think that part of that discipline regimen that you are doing every day is what contributes to your kind of feeling of confidence in yourself, because you know that you're like doing the process properly. And that's what is going to ultimately lead to the success that's going to come. So what's that like daily regimen you use with your to-do list?
Yeah, so this to-do list, we'll call it, this allows me to build my beliefs in myself. But, even though I'm extremely disciplined, I still have to find things for me that work. And I've tried the traditional to-do list on lined paper, where you have 30 things written down and you mark things off as they're completed, and then you drag over the things that you didn't complete till the next day. And I found that there was there was nothing to hold me accountable to creating a list like that. Therefore, I actually, probably completed less or progressed less. So Andy Frisilla is an entrepreneur. He developed a supplements brand in the States. He's a great guy. Check him out. I'm using the to-do list that he uses, and I've made my own alterations to it. But basically it is everybody can do 5 things no matter what. So I, each day in the evening, will write 5 things that I must complete the next day, no matter what. And in those 5 things, 2 of those things are habits that I'm trying to change, and those habits will help me get towards my goal. And you never want to be trying to change more than 2 at once, because then it becomes too difficult again, right? So, for example, it doesn't have to be difficult things either. Yesterday I had to do my morning ritual. I had to see tag. I had to drop off a check at a sales center. I had to deliver materials to my accountant, and I had to make an Instagram video and upload a picture, right? So my 2 habits there are make Instagram video and a picture, and the second habit is my morning ritual. My morning ritual is a thing of its own. We can talk about that another time. But nonetheless, you write down 5 things you must do for the day, and you check them off as you go. And when you finish them by the end of the day, you write winner at the top of that list. And when you write winner to yourself every single day on the top of a list that you do complete for yourself, it will start to change you. No matter what, you will start to change. It's just that works for me.
Yeah, so it sounds like what I've noticed is you are taking control of the process, and by taking control of the process, by being disciplined over how you spend your time, you just have confidence that the outcome will work out. And I think we both know that with whatever we do, things aren't always going to go our way. And, I was listening to Gary Vaynerchuk earlier today, and he always talks about micro and macro failures. Like, we're all going to have the micro failures, like screw up here, screw up there, things aren't going to work, we're going to lose some money, whatever. But when you control the process, when you're disciplined, you can really have confidence that you're not going to have a macro failure. And a macro failure is like dying, because if you die, you can't come back from that, and or quitting, Those are the 2 macro failures. And if you control the process, if you are always keeping your mindset right. And another thing that Devin does is he listens to motivational YouTube videos all day long. And I
listen to a ton of content. My mentors live on YouTube.
Not even just podcasts, so to say, but motivational, pump you up, get you fired up content. And I notice what that does to you. I'll be sitting with you working, and you'll just you're fired up. You are ready to go, and that your business. We were talking about this episode beforehand, and you were talking about like sometimes you're working with your developer. And what was it you said to me about just like taking a moment to just reflect? You said, sometimes you're just working with your developer, you're in the trenches, and you just say like...
Yeah, so, sometimes I've spent probably a couple hundred hours now working away down in the basement. It's incredible. And, there's some really stressful moments, and I'm sitting down there with him, and I'll just say, imagine 15 years from now, 10 years from now, when we've totally made it, and we're just crushing business, and we're too busy to even think, and we stop and we look at each other and say, oh man, do you remember those good old days back in the basement? Those were the good old days. And in saying that to him, I was trying to get him to think like, prophesize the future and then go back to where we actually are in the now, and this is the good old days. Enjoy it, embrace it. Building a business is fun as much as it is difficult. Mike mentioned Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm a big fan of Gary Vaynerchuk. He is famous for not complaining. He just doesn't complain about things. He takes action, and that's what it's all about. I wear a wristband on my wrist, and some people in public see it, and it looks like they get, threatened almost. But what they don't realize is the wristband is for me. It's for me to read, and it says, "Don't be a little bitch." So when I'm doing my workouts, or when I'm putting in those long hours, or when I'm facing a problem and there's something that I feel like I want to complain about, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares about my complaints. Nobody cares, and it's just me woeing. It's like, solve it. Come up with the solution. You are the only one who will, right?
Yeah, so that really is the entrepreneurial mindset. It's taking control and knowing that it's all you, really. You have the control. So when you say to me, like, I remember like a few meetings ago you said to me that with a complete straight face, you said, I actually mentioned this on a previous episode a few episodes ago, but you said, I am going to have the greatest dating site of all time, or some version of that comment. And I was taken aback because I looked at you when you said it, and you 100% believed it. And I was like, yeah, if you believe it, it's going to happen, right? So that is really what inspires me about what you're doing. So before we finish it up,
let me just say a couple more things, Mike, real quick. Onto that, there are a lot of mentally tough times I go through. Is there ever a time that I feel like I want to give up? No, I don't think I know I'm not going to quit. I feel like the harder I work, the harder it is to quit, right? I always remember this tool, no matter, like I understand now when people say you put blood, sweat, and tears into a business, because you really do. And no matter what I fail, no matter what goes wrong, I always know I will never give up. I will never give up. So there's only one way for me to always go, and that is, my foundational tool.
Yeah, so I guess that was kind of touched, but what I was going to say is, just on a last comment, like, what maybe what do you do, or what advice do you have to other people who what advice do you have for me? Like, there's times where and it gets back to something that Tanya and I have talked about a lot, which is the abundance mentality versus the scarcity mentality. And those are the two ways of approaching something. I sometimes let scarcity mentality get into my mindset and poison it a little bit. And scarcity mentality is almost the same thing as fear, if not the same thing. So what is your advice to yourself, to me, to anyone else? Like, how do you keep that fear in check when you keep writing those checks, when you keep deploying money, when you keep just going day after day and going all in more and more and more? What is your number one tip to crush that fear?
Yeah, it's a very, very good question. Mindset is 80%, as we said earlier. But in order to develop that mindset, where it all really starts, where it started for me, is discipline. Discipline and grit. right? If you do not have discipline, you will not make it very far. That is it, plain and simple. So you need to start developing consistent routines and schedules and daily habits that you can do that are moving you towards your goals. Start looking at your negative habits and releasing them if you can. And if you can't release them, at least start implementing positive habits and consistently do them. Discipline is not easy. What makes you so disciplined to do discipline is that it's hard, right? It's hard work, but that is where you will really grow. Because I do so many intense disciplines on a daily basis in my life, I have the ultimate belief in my mind that I can do anything. I can do anything I want. There's nothing that's going to stop me because I've proven to myself I can do whatever I have to do at any given time. Doesn't matter if I'm tired, doesn't matter if I'm sick. I push through it. Discipline is where it starts.
Good. All right, so where can people find you? You said Discipline and Grit, so that's a good place to start.
Instagram, discipline_and_grit is my channel. I try to post there daily videos and pictures, quotes. All the pictures and quotes I post are relative to my life. They're tools that help me. They're not just random quotes. As well as you can find me at devin@rendezvousdating.com. You can email me there. And of course, rendezvousdating.com, we are accepting founding members at this point.
So you're about to launch your site, and you could really use what you're calling founding members. So guys, go check out rendezvousdating.com. Sign up for it, and you'll stay in the loop, and there's tons of benefits that come with it. I'll let you kind of close out on that topic. Why people should go to your site and drop their email and sign up for that?
Yeah, I mean, it really is I don't want to speak for what other dating websites do, but I do consider myself the evolution in online dating. I am really changing the game. Just go to rendezvousdating.com and you will see what it means to become a founding member. You can read it or watch it and sign up and see you there.
Awesome. And if you sign up, you will also get to see the launch of this site and all the great things that come with it. So go check that out, Rendezvous Dating. Devin, thanks so much for joining us. It was an awesome chat.
Thanks, Mike.
And that's a wrap on another episode of How We Hustle. For more information, check out howwehustlepodcast.com.